Hey guys, it's 43. I'm a longtime competitive player and coach, and after struggling to consistently speed flip, I decided to make a different kind of tutorial. I'm not claiming to be able to speed flip 100% of the time consistently, but I can provide tips and show you guys common mistakes that I have learned to hopefully help people learn the mechanic really quickly. You might have seen other tutorials on this mechanic, and they do a really good job explaining the usefulness and going over what the speed flip looks like. I'm going to focus, however, on applying it to kickoffs and consistency with it. To begin, the speed flip is used to gain an advantage over your opponents, largely on kickoffs, so that you are able to beat them to the ball and either hard win the 50-50 or outright beat them to the ball and chip it over them. I'll be focusing on what I believe is the more competitively viable and consistent route, the 50-50 approach. The mechanic, in theory, it's really simple. All you need to do is front flip diagonally to either side, then you cancel the forward momentum of the flip by pulling your left joystick directly downwards. The difficulty lies in how precise you need to be to hit it consistently. If you are a beginner to this, start in free play. Begin by getting the motion down of flipping front diagonally and quickly pulling your stick back after flipping as soon as possible. Make sure you don't drag your thumbstick around the side when you are canceling your flip. You need to move it directly from that front diagonal position back towards the bottom. This is a really common mistake, and people don't often realize that this is important. You must be able to consistently do this before you move into applying it on your own kickoffs. Not having confidence and proficiency with the mechanic itself means the kickoff will be a lot more difficult and frustrating to learn. Get the fundamentals down before moving on. Go into each kickoff with a certain goal. It sounds dumb, but realize what direction you are going to flip in, where you want to land, and visualize how you're going to make contact with the ball. This will make it a lot easier to analyze what part of the kickoff you are struggling with. The corner left and right kickoffs are pretty straightforward. The real difficulty comes with using power slide to turn your car the opposite direction which you're going to flip, so you're able to land right behind the ball, hopefully goal side, and having your nose facing near the center of the ball. So here I'm playing with my friend, and I know that he's really good at the speed flip kickoff. I'm able to trust him to win it, so I go up for the side boost right off the kickoff here, and as expected, he wins it, and I'm already able to follow up on the 50-50 for a quick aerial kickoff goal. This is one of many ways to take advantage of being able to use this kickoff, and all of these clips are in games against grand champions. The kickoff is becoming crucial at high levels to keep an advantage, and will only become more prevalent over the next couple of months, so I suggest you start learning it now. I think I have sort of an unconventional kickoff from this spot, but it is pretty easy for me to hit, so I'll share my method. All you do is drive and boost at the very inside of that first boost pad, and then you don't need to turn your car before speed flipping with the power slide at all. You just diagonally flip towards the ball as you drive over the boost there, and then cancel it correctly, and you should be landing right before the ball with enough time to get a really strong 50-50. Once I figured out the direction to take on this kickoff, it became really consistent for me. This kickoff is only going to be relevant in ones, obviously, as you're in the furthest away kickoff position. But basically, you just try and get a really quick power slide turn and speed flip, and attempting to keep as straight a path as possible towards the ball. This is probably the most difficult position to utilize a speed flip well, but if you're able to get that strong quick flip, you should be able to win most of your kickoffs here too, as it is still faster than any of the other ones. Now you know some ways to reliably use the speed flip on each kickoff position. This is not the only way to take these kickoffs, but they work for me pretty consistently. Be confident, and once you think you're able to do this pretty well, start transitioning all of your kickoffs in rank to ones using the speed flip. And now you might be losing a couple more kickoffs early on. Don't get discouraged, it's definitely worth it. If you get flamed for this, don't care. Fuck your ranked teammates, Do what you can to improve, and over time, you'll start to win more kickoffs than not, and it will be incredibly satisfying. Now, if you seem to still be struggling with certain things, that's totally okay. When I was first using the Musty Speedflip training pack, which I've linked in the bio, it probably took me over 200 attempts to even touch the ball. Now I can probably get it 1 in 5 times after hours of practice. Now, some common mistakes you might be having. You might be pushing your stick too far up on your flip, and if your car is pointing at the ground a little bit and it feels kind of awkward, this is probably the case. You also could be having a similar issue where you're pushing your stick too far to the side, basically just doing a side flip in that case. And if you're struggling with this, try and slow it down for yourself and make sure you're flipping before you start to move your stick down to cancel it. This could definitely alleviate a lot of issues. Some people like to use slow-mo mode in the game or using backs mod to really slow it down and start to get the feel for it, but I don't think that's necessary, it's just personal preference. If you're often double jumping when you're trying to perform the speed flip, try lowering your dodge dead zone in your control settings, or just also slowing it down in slow-mo mode. That could help you with that issue as well. But remember, have a goal on each kickoff and visualize what it should look like in your head before each kickoff takes place. Now, this is my first YouTube video, and I'm planning on releasing a lot more instructional videos soon. If you feel like you learned anything or would be interested in seeing more future tutorials, please like and subscribe. And I've also linked my coaching profile down below if people are interested in one-on-one coaching in any game mode. Thank you, and stay safe, everyone.